This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat and fire. All right, man. We keeping the foot on the what? On the Knicks. We keeping the foot on the what? On the Knicks. Let's talk about it, man. 2 reasons why Errol the Truth Spence needs to get back with Derrick James and Blu-ray. And I'm going to break this thing down into a microcosm, get the notepads out, and get to the damn scribbling. So hear me and hear me motherfucking well. Let's get into it, man. It's called bulldozing niggas fashion and bone crushing power. Let me say it again, because what I said was so deep and profound. So hear me and hear me motherfucking well. Bulldozing niggas fashion and bone crushing power. What does that mean? Well, you see, with Derrick James, you have a conglomeration of levying onslaught of punishment, i.e. via tactical aggression, technical punching placement, and body snatching work. It's a conglomeration of punishment. It's a levying onslaught. It's punishment nevertheless, but it's punishment. Let me say it again. It's punishment nevertheless, but it's punishment. It is refined punishment. It is the Mexican come forward refined style. It is punishment at its most beautiful, at its most Picasso, at its most poetic, and at its most poetic justice of tactical aggression, of technical punching placement, and of body snatching work. That's why it's a conglomeration of punishment. That's why it's a levying onslaught of punishment. It is punishment nevertheless, and it is punishment personification. It is greatness personification. And what have we said about greatness personification? Greatness personification can only be hindered. The motherfucker can't be stopped. So this is what Derrick James brings to the table with Errol Spence. If he wants to be the truth, if he wants to show that there's no lies in his damn fist, which there isn't, even after the cockamamie fake fight versus Terence Crawford, because yes, it is a fake fight. I'm looking at you straight because I don't live in an infinite Tsukuyomi. I don't live in a virtual reality. I don't live in a 3D. I don't live in the Matrix. I don't take the blue pill, beta cuck pill. I take the red pill. And the red pill tells me, like Michael Jai White said, Earl wasn't Earl. The red pill tells me, like Javante Tank Davis said, Earl was high as a kite. The red pill tells me that Errol Spence was paid to lose. I've accepted that fate a long time ago. It is what it is, and we have to accept it for what it is, but it is what it is nevertheless. But that's what it is. Could be a litany of reasons. Could be to build up Terence Crawford's resume and legacy, which, look, the dude now is on WWE. He's a household name, so it worked. Could be for Al Heyman's mastermind plan to get the Spence versus Crawford 2 and the Spence versus Crawford 3. Because recently, Terence Crawford came out of his rabbit ass mouth and said, after Spence is done with Fundora, which we know now, beta male YouTubers were going all over the place. Yeah. You know, like opera singers. Yeah. Like the La cucarachas, la cucarachas. Yo no puedo caminar. La cucarachas, la cucarachas. Yo no puedo caminar. Like scattering cockroaches that they are at their truest and their most properest levels, spewing nonsense, spewing false information. Spewing information that has no sustenance and that has no substance behind it. But just their pure hatred, just their pure trollisms. That's what they do. They do that best. But we now know by Fundora, who came back and corrected his manager, that Errol Spence will happen versus Sebastian Fundora, but 2 months later, i.e. December or January. Shout outs to my boy Wilson. Me and him, we talked about that in length yesterday. So it will happen nevertheless. So we know when Errol Spence cleans up Sebastian Fedora. We know when Terence Crawford cleans up Israel Madrimov, because it's not going to go any other way. Spence versus Crawford 2 is going to happen. And a prediction king strikes again. Spence versus Crawford 3 is going to happen. And a prediction king restrikes again and again and again. Because he knows everything, the seer mode. He knows everything, the visionary mode. He knows everything. Nevertheless, as he knows everything, tells you guys that when it's all said and done, this has to happen. The trilogy has to take place. Because even Terence Crawford understands. This is the legacy. This is why Errol the True Spence cannot let his pride and his ego get in the way and say, you know what, Derrick James, whatever we got going on, I don't even know if it's for show. I don't even know if they just putting on a show, because PBC love to do that. They love to, fill beta male mindsets with smoke and mirrors so that they can think it's a things that make you say, But is it really a things that make you say, See, if Spence is smart, he's going to look at Muhammad Ali and say, you know what? That's the legacy that I want. Just like Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier gets credit for beating Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali gets the final authorizing credit of it's not how you start, but it's how you finish, like the great MJ said. So now we've gotten that out the way. Now we understand why he needs Derrick James back in the corner. We also need to understand why he needs Blu-ray into that corner. Because what Derrick James provides is bulldozing niggas fashion. Blu-ray provides bone-crushing power. Those push-ups need to come back. The shredded shredder 8-pack needs to come back. This is your last 3 fights. This is me looking at Errol Spence eye to eye. How do you want to end this? I know you done copied the locks. I know you copy a lot of things that I do, Spence. So how are you going to end this? I want you to copy this one thing about me. If there's anything about me, it's I'm a resilient motherfucker. Good, bad, or the ugly. Let me say it again. I'm a resilient motherfucker, good, bad, or the ugly. So my question to you, how do you want to end this? Good, bad, or the ugly? Are you going to be resilient? Are you going to get the last laugh over these boxing fans and say, Blu-ray, you know what? We had our spat. We had our little disagreements, but this is the end of the career, because you've already mentioned it with Sebastian Fedora that this is the end of the wave. Clearly you're on the north end of retirement. We understand that, but you can't let your pride and ego get in the way, because right now it's about bone crushing power. We need to see the Leonard Bundu performances again. I know it's in you. We need to see that Chris Algieri 40-yard dash in you once again. We need to see the Lamont Peterson beatdown. Punishing the boxer. We know that's in you. That's what you do. You punish boxers. You tell boxers, look, you can do all that boxing shit. I'm going to punish the shit out your rabbit ass. That's what we want. We understand that a megalodon shark has no predator. It is the predator. So are you going to showcase to everyone that you are truly that predator, that you're that big fish that they can't reel in? Because we know what we saw in the first fight. It was fake. It was an illusion. It was an infinite Suku Yumi. We know the 10 tails Jinchuriki fucked a lot of people's eyes up. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Naruto. You'll get an understanding. But when we come back down to reality, we know that in your defining legacy, it's all about putting ego. It's all about putting pride aside and getting those 1,200 push-ups in a day. And getting those hit workouts back in again. We need you back, man. We need the shredder back. We need Mr. 8-pack back. We need the guy with the defining latissimus dorsis back. We need the big fish back. It's been too long. And we know you're still strong. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to put your ego and your pride aside and say, look here, Derrick James, look here, Blu-ray, I need y'all back. It's time to go back to bulldozing niggas fashion. It's time to go back to bone-crushing power. And I know that I will get the conglomeration of both of those if both of you guys come back. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat truth-telling fashion. This is He Knows Everything. Checking out.